Hi, my name is Jeremy Reeds, and we're here at a flood house today to give you some good examples of how to use tests and e-tests. Our objective here is to help you to see better how to use the equipment that you have or that you're thinking about purchasing. So we're going to show you tests and e-tests in a variety of different applications so that you can take these same processes and apply them on your next water damage job. Let's take a look at the flood right now.
What's that?
Looks like you're pulling out a little more water there.
There's some coming out, yeah.
Good, that's good. Maybe that's what we were wringing out of the pad.
Okay.
All right, pull it off. Again, you can see where we're pulling a little more of the water out.
Yeah.
Right. And now, as I wring that, I'm not getting any water out. A little bit of water in my hand just because of the pad being wet. Damp rather, but not wringing water out.
Not coming out
Yeah.
like it was before.
So even though the pad test is a subjective test, if I can wring water out with my hand, I can extract more out with the water, the flash extractor there.
Okay.
Okay? So what we want to do is replicate that now across the whole room. So it took about, I would give it about 10 seconds on this flash extractor.
Okay.
The whole room. Okay?
Good deal.
Great.
I'll do it.
See you in about 2 hours.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're back with Brady, who now has 2 weeks and about 2 hours worth of experience, and we're going to see how he's done on this extraction because he's put quite an investment in this room here. So let's check your extraction. We're going to go to the opposite side, Brady. You feel good about this?
I do. I'm confident.
All right, you're confident.
It'll pass.
Okay. All right, and giving it the ring test is really, it is extracted properly. Good job,
Good deal.
Brady. I'll send you the bill. But good job on that, and what we're going to do now is we're going to set up our text boxes, and we'll position it in one corner, moving across to other corners, open up the vents on the other side. You want to help with that?
Sure, let's do it.
All right, great. All right, so we're here on a carpeted area that's wet, and I want to show you how to dry carpet and pad because it's actually fairly simple to set up. We're going to show you how to set up the text box first. What I've done is I've kind of looked at this room and figured out which direction I want the air to move. We're going to move this direction across the room. So this makes a really easy corner where I disengage the carpet. Make sure, again, when you're disengaging carpet to use a knee kicker and an all, which we've already done, but the carpet now will just lay back. We're going to set the text box on top of the pad. And when you're doing this, you want to make sure that you start that text box and keep it away from the wall. Give yourself a few inches of room to move back here. We're going to stick the edge of the carpet under the clamp, like this. Pull back on the text box, and what that's doing is, when you first put the text box on here, you flip it up, it's covering the snout and it won't float well. Just take and pull that back. That's why we left the text box away from the wall a little bit, and now it's going to float really well. The next thing we're going to do, grab an air mover and put in the text box. Now, whether you've got an E-test or a text box, it doesn't really matter. Here's a tip on getting these air movers in and out so you don't struggle with them. Set it on top of there at an angle. Take and roll that air mover in. Get it right there. And just roll right straight down. And the same thing for taking it out, by the way. Slide it forward, roll it straight out, boom, it's out. No struggle. Okay? Put this on. When you're floating carpet, you want to make sure that you put the air mover on high. And I know I haven't unwrapped the whole thing here. I'm going to put the air mover on high, pull back on that just a little bit, and we're getting a nice float on there. Okay, so we've got the text box in the corner pushing air under the carpet, but you have to allow air to come out. We want air to flow under the containment, not to just inflate the carpet. Pressure doesn't dry. It's the air flowing through here. So we're going to open up a vent in each corner. What that will do is the air will go towards those vents. It gives us a better distribution of the heat. If you don't open a vent in each corner of the room, and this is all we're talking about, to allow the air to escape, it will not dry evenly. You'll find that your corners stay wet longer than the rest of the room. And this is not to allow air to blow on the walls, but just to allow air to move across underneath this carpeting towards this. Okay, so I want to show you also how to set up ventilation, because we set up ventilation for two reasons. Number one, to remove the excess moisture in the structure. Number two, to remove excess heat. So what I'm using is this laminar air mover to exhaust the air to the exterior. And it's just pulling in air that's from this room. Anything that this pushes out must come in. So on the other side of the drying chamber, we want to open a window and allow air to come in from that area. We're going to replace this hotter, more humid air with the air that's outside. You'll see that what we've done is we used a 24-inch nylon bungee and gone around the snout of the air mover. This is 16-inch lay flat that we're using to put the air out the window. We're using a window adapter there to put the air out to the exterior. And then also, we're using an exhaust controller. This exhaust controller here is set up 95 degrees to exhaust the air when the temperature in this room comes up to 95. You want to make sure that this is within, when you come back to monitor, make sure that this is within 3 degrees where you originally set it. It gives you a good idea whether or not you have enough ventilation in here. We're at 98 right now, so we're in good shape. Now another way that we can set up to get rid of the vapor that's being produced, or the water vapor, the moisture, humidity getting into the air, is by picking it up with a dehumidifier. You don't have to use ventilation if you're only using one or maybe two E-tests on a small job. Very often what we can do is just put in our E-test and a dehumidifier. Because the reason we use ventilation is to get rid of excess heat and excess humidity. If I'm able to control the heat like I can with the E-test, I can set the thermostat so that it doesn't overheat, and remove the excess vapor with my dehumidifier. I have a good managed environment. The heat's not going to run away. The air conditioning would also be used to control temperature in this room.